Hello, today I'm going to demonstrate our majority circuit using the AND or NOT, or AON for short, model of computation. So let's get straight into it. So first off, with this model, we have three inputs. These representing, for more context, this is a 3-bit majority circuit. So we have these three inputs, and essentially we output 1 whenever there's a majority true or a majority 1. So here we have our 2 of our AND gates and then our third. These are labeled A0, A1, and A2. Then these transition into our non-labeled OR circuits, which are just represented by this conjoined redstone. This represents R0, R1, and then our output. So why don't we demonstrate it quickly? Now, the output will turn on, it's a redstone lantern, it will turn on when the output is 1, or it will stay turned off when the output is 0. So, with all the bits equivalent to 0, or none of them turned on, it is not turned on either. We turn on 1. As you can see, there's no change because we do not have a majority truth. And that is true for all of these. Now I will turn on 2 of them, and we should be having a majority, so let's see if it's reflected in our circuit, and it is. The redstone lantern has turned on, so our output is 1. And we can switch them out. Let's turn on this one. And yep, it also turned on now. And if we turn it off, there's only one that is turned on. So, yep, there we go. And lastly, let's turn on all of them. Perfect. It's turned on and our output is 1. Now, on this side, we have another model of computation that we used, which is that of the NAND circuit. The only possible circuit that we use is the NAND circuit. So this representation here employs 3 different logic gates, those being AND, or not. Specifically only AND and OR. But here we are applying only NAND circuits. So these 3 inputs still apply, and the same redstone lantern is used to represent the output. As you can see, we have one NAND, another NAND, and a third, and these all go into our 3-input NAND right here, which is then mapped to the output. So as you can see, none of these are turned on now, so let's try. Still no change. There's only one bit that is turned on, which is not a majority. Let's try turning on 2. As you can see, it has turned on. Now let's turn this one off and try it with this. The majority is still reflected in the output. Now lastly, let's try these. Perfect. Now we'll talk a little bit about the implementation of each of our circuits. So to start out with, let's start with the AND or NOT circuit representation. So as mentioned earlier, we do have 3 inputs, x0 through x2, and the inputs are mapped into 3 AND gates. And this is our AND gate implementation. Essentially, it's the 2 inputs statuses, which are extended by redstone wiring. They map into these 2 redstone torches, which then are inverted, and this is our representation of an AND gate. This AND gate signal is then, when on, that is sent to an OR gate in conjunction with the AND 1's representation, which, yeah, those 2 map to R0, R0 being our first OR gate. Now the output of R0 then maps to our second OR gate, which is R1, which is joined by the output of AND2. And R1 is what actually produces our output. And for context, I believe I said this earlier, the OR gate is represented by just two conjoined redstone wirings into one. Now we will go over to the NAND gate representation side. So again, we have our three inputs, and these map to their respective three NAND gates now. So now the NAND gate representation is essentially an inversion of the AND gate representation. And so as we had the redstone torches there on the AND gates, the NAND gate is essentially the opposite. So that this is our representation. It's essentially the AND gate without the redstone torch. And lastly, we map to our these three NAND gates map to a 3-bit NAND gate, which then produces our output. Now, one challenge we had was working with the wiring. As you can see, we have to go under our platform a little bit and come out this way to get to NAND 1, for example. And also, our, I believe it was X0 input is required in NAND 2, so we had to sort of make a little bridge to not interfere with any of X1 or X2's wirings. And a similar principle is applied here, making these sort of overhead bridges for some of the wiring. But yeah, thanks for watching.